you are truly practicing yoga, it is meant to be a skill in action. So it's off of the mat. It is being present in everything that you do and doing it with integrity. Having been in ballet and in constant comparison to other people in a leotard and tights in the mirror, yoga was so different in the way that, first of all, there was no mirror. It's an ugly thing that's really hard to shake. And I feel really, really fortunate that at a young age, when I probably needed it the most, I was given this. Yoga takes you on this individual inquiry of self-awareness.
Expanded into the retreats. Was there ever a point to where you sort of like panicked and felt like, can I really do this? Like, am I the person to do
All the
this?
time.
Yeah.
I still do it. Imposter syndrome kicks in all the time. And whenever that kicks in.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Sleeping Lotus Podcast. I'm Laura Jean.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we're your hosts. Today we have Steph Zavala. Did I say that right?
Zavala. Yep.
Okay. She's a 500-hour ERYT yoga instructor and general manager at YogaSix Conshohocken. I love that. I love that you're a yoga instructor. It's always something that I would love to do, but I have my limitations due to the damage from the arthritis. So I'm excited to dive into the topic today and find out how you came about this journey. So wherever you would love to start, if you want to go back to the beginning, if you want to start what you do now.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura and Stephanie, for having me today. My path to yoga was, I would say, a slow progression in the best way. I was first introduced to yoga when I was young, when I was in high school. I was always very physically active. I was a member of the swim team. I was on the soccer team, and I also was an avid dancer from the time I was very little, like 4 years old. And became really serious about dance when I was in high school, attending a more serious ballet school, and some summer programs, ballet camps, uh, a summer program at University of the Arts, which isn't University of the Arts anymore, in Philadelphia. And that was my first introduction to yoga, actually. So having been in ballet and in constant comparison to other people in a leotard and tights in the mirror, yoga was so different in the way that, first of all, there was no mirror. And it was just more of an embodied practice about feeling instead of aesthetic. So yeah, I would say the first time I tried yoga, it definitely piqued my interest. I don't think I knew in that moment how important it was going to be in my life, but it definitely was a catalyst. So I attended this program at University Arts, experienced yoga for the first time, and that was right before I went away to college. And I ended up going to Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City, mainly because I liked art and fashion was cool, but I really liked art. And so I went to Fashion Institute and was working part-time at a gym. Again, because I just wanted that free membership, very physically active, always, interested in maintaining fitness stuff. And
I have a question.
yeah.
So I'm thinking you have dance, and I my daughter was in dance, so I know the commitment that it takes and to grow through the years. And she was 4 too when we started. That's and being in fitness programs, that's a little way from yoga.
Yeah.
Like it really is when you think about it. What were your initial feelings the first time you did yoga? Were you really able to be present in that moment and allow your body to feel, or did it want to participate in more of an active exercise?
My first, and I still lean towards a more physical yoga
Physical. Yeah.
class, like a power flow. I love
That's
it.
why I'm curious because yoga does take you to a different place in your body.
It does. So in the moment when I was attending the ballet program or the dance program at University Arts, I think it was just like, oh, this is different. And I feel good doing this, and I don't know why. And that class was definitely more of I would say an all levels friendly vinyasa flow. And
Mhm.
at that moment, I probably didn't know the style, but looking back, that's what it was. Um, but then when I was in college, a friend invited me to come to a place called Yoga to the People, which was in New York City. It was at St. Mark's Place. And I think it might have been in an old either warehouse building or apartment building. It was multi-level,
Mhm.
this multi-level space, huge space, and they cleared it out, and it was just these big open rooms, and it was donation based. So you could pay $2 as a broke college student and come take a yoga class, and they packed the room. So it was just a bunch of mostly college students. Um, and I remember just leaving those classes feeling cleared out. And the very first time I took a class there, the instructor played the Tibetan singing bowls, like right after Shavasana to bring us out of Shavasana. And I just remember feeling like my brain was cleared out. Those sounds vibrating through my mind. I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what they're playing right now, but this is like, I was like a little scared and also a little like, whoa, this this is
What's
taking me
happening?
home. And it was just like, a 30-second
Hmm. Hmm.
healing experience.
An
But
awakening. It was your awakening
it
moment.
was, and I would leave feeling so good and not even knowing, the more subtle body
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
energy reasons why I was feeling good. For me, it was always like to get a workout or, okay, I'm going for this like run or swim or whatever. And so I'll do yoga to help loosen my body up in preparation for that more intense thing.
Hmm.
Again, always left yoga feeling really great without really knowing why
Why?
Yeah.
until I, progressed into becoming a yoga teacher.
Hmm.
So I'm curious, you said earlier about how dance and more of the physical stuff was like more about kind of hitting those specific movements and looking in the mirror and really critiquing yourself really
It's,
hard. And then other people are critiquing you. Did you have that feeling to look in the mirror after you were doing yoga? Or was it just more of like, I'm in the present moment right now?
think in the present, and I felt strong. And some of the studios, like the yoga studio I teach in now, we do have a mirror. Um, and some of the studios I practiced in, past that first experience still had mirrors, but it wasn't, if I was looking in it, it was more to just make sure like I was following what the teacher was saying in terms of alignment, but I never felt like I was comparing myself to someone else. I always felt strong in
Mm,
the practice. Even in the days that maybe you know, every time you come to the mat, it's something different, but I always just felt like I was able to meet myself wherever I was. Where in dance, it was more of it wasn't an individual inquiry, right? Like yoga takes you on this individual inquiry of self-awareness. That's
Hmm.
not what dance was, at least not for me.
mhm.
Right.
I
Yeah. The yoga
loved
was
it.
more of a personal journey for you, whereas
Yeah.
dance was more about the company and fitting in and making
Yes.
sure everyone's
There
on
was a
point.
pressure. There was a
Mhm.
pressure to the dance, right? Which as an adult, if I went back and took ballet classes, maybe I wouldn't feel that pressure because I think also when you're young and you're competitive, it can steer you down a different
Yes.
street.
Mhm.
So I think yoga was my first just glimpse into, oh, you can do something for the joy of it and not be competitive about it or not have to compare yourself to
Mhm.
others or not be trying out for the part or the place on stage,
Hmm.
um, the way I felt in dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
So it gave you those moments to breathe.
yeah, yeah. And in college, I went to a very competitive college as well. So there was a lot of pressure in terms of, an art school, you're again being compared to other art students, and trying to get that great internship or leg up in fashion, which is a competitive industry. And um, yoga just always was my steadfast, um, like grounding force. Um, and I don't think I knew it
Hmm.
until I dove deeper and started the journey of my 200-hour program. But I did graduate college and enter the fashion industry. Um, and all along was continuing to work at this gym part-time. Started taking spin classes, met someone that was running the New York City Marathon, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy to me.
Hmm.
And so she completed the marathon and was like, I'm going to do a triathlon. And I was like, I'll do a triathlon with you. So I started training for my first triathlon, which was a half Ironman, and was on the bike all the time, especially in the spin studio, was running all the time, started swimming again. And because I was in the spin studio all the time, I was like, I think I could do this. I think it would be really fun to be a spin instructor. And I could just do it like in the morning before I go to work or do it when I get back from work or whatever. Anyway, um, got certified to be a spin instructor, started doing it before work. Would wake up super early, get on a couple of trains from where I lived in Jackson Heights, Queens, and go to the Upper East Side to teach a couple spin classes before work. And eventually had people approaching me like, hey, do you do personal training? And I was like, no, but I could. I'm not certified, but I'll get certified. So I had a couple of young women that I took on as clients, charged them like next to nothing because I knew I had to, you know, build my books and
Hmm.
get properly certified. But all along, I was teaching spin, got my NASM certification in personal training and corrective exercise science, and started to build my books. So my side hustle became almost equivalent to how much I was working in fashion design. And my latest job that I had in fashion design, um, oh man, I was miserable. Um, I liked the job, but the person that I directly reported to was toxic. Um,
Hmm.
just I'd worked with some tough personalities, but this really took the cake and just really tested me every day. And I got to the point where I was like, what's it all for? I don't feel like I'm contributing to society in a beneficial way. Fashion design can be a very wasteful industry. Um, and I just felt like what I was doing wasn't important. And for me, that mattered. I took this leap of faith and started personal training and teaching group fitness full time. I was in my late 20s. I was living by myself. I had no one to really answer to
Worry about.
or worry about. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm going to do this. And if I fall on my face, I can always retreat back to you know, my resume in fashion design. But I built my books pretty quickly. The gym I was working for had only one female personal trainer that they had just fired because she wasn't showing up for work. So I quickly took on all of her clients and said yes to everything at first and was working a lot and really loved it. Loved to create my own schedule. Loved to feel like I was making a difference in people's lives. Loved working one-on-one with people. Um, and one of my clients actually said to me, have you ever considered teaching yoga? I had so many certifications that I accrued just because I just always want to know more, right? I think that's so important
Mhm.
to constantly be in the seat of a student. But yoga was something I never entertained. I liked taking yoga classes, but for some reason I was like, oh no, there's no way I could teach yoga. Like they speak in a different language. Like I just, no, no.
There's the ego already talking you out of it before you even had a
Yeah.
chance to step into it.
Yes. But she talked to me about it a little bit more. And at that time, I'd been living in New York for a while. I met my husband, we got married. Um, and we were looking for a change. He wasn't very happy in his job. We wanted to maybe move out of New York, but nothing was really happening. And the yoga studio I was attending was starting their next cycle of 200-hour yoga teacher training. And I approached one of the teachers that was facilitating the program and was like, I'm kind of thinking about it, but I don't know. Like, I'm a personal trainer, so it'd be a nice thing to just have available to help out with for any of my clients that want more of a yogic workout.
Mhm.
Um, but she was like, you absolutely need to join our program. And I was like, oh, okay. Like the timing was right. Um, like I said, my husband was looking for a job, but nothing was happening, and I just felt like I need to um, do something else for myself. I felt like I was getting stale. So I joined this 200-hour program. It was through New York Yoga, and it was the best thing I ever could have done. I loved all of my facilitators. Each one brought something different to it. And when I first started the journey, it was purely from the physical realm, right?
Mhm.
It was, I want to be able to help my personal training clients, learn some stretches, learn. I had no idea the levels, the philosophy behind the physical aspect of yoga. I had no idea. And when I first started the program, I was really resistant when we were learning about the chakras or the koshas or anything, where I was like, but anatomically, tell me where they are located, if I were to look at some sort of scan, where could I see them? Um, and so I had to rearrange my thinking. Um, and I trusted my teachers. They were amazing. And so that 200-hour program changed my life. And I knew upon completion, even before I completed it, I was like, this is my path. I want to start to steer my personal training and group fitness into more of this wellness path. I saw longevity with it. Um, uh, and I just felt this creativity that I think I was craving between, you know, um, dance and choreography and my art background that I had kind of in personal training, but nothing like creating a yoga sequence, which I love.
Mhm.
Um,
Can you tell us and the listeners basically like what yoga is versus what we all see it to be?
well, yoga can be, so to me, um, yoga is being present, right? So I think a lot of us, myself included, think of yoga as this physical practice on a yoga mat. Um, if you are truly practicing yoga, it is meant to be a skill in action. So it's off of the mat. It is being present in everything that you do and doing it with integrity and with loving kindness and um, in a way that is sustainable and for the good of the cause. It's the understanding that we are all part of the same fabric. So what I do affects you, what you do affects me, and affects people that we don't even know. And so it's a constant practice and a constant, I think, checking in with yourself to be like, how am I showing up? And so what happens on the mat is just more of a way to ground yourself, um, and work, I think, some of the like stuck, unwanted energy and like shit out so that when you get off of your mat, you are more equipped to do so in a way that um, it is really how you want to show up for yourself and for the rest of your community. So, yeah, it shapes on the mat, but it's so much more than that. And by the way, it doesn't even have to be shapes on the mat. It could be breath work. It can be meditation. It can be walking in the woods and really, trying to observe and notice what you see. Um, it's a connection to something much bigger than just one individual self. And when I was in my 200-hour YTT, I was learning all of these lessons that I learned as a kid, like in Sunday school, and felt just such a spiritual connection that I don't think I ever felt in church. Um, because it was an individual journey, you know? No one was telling me exactly, it wasn't scripted. No one was telling me how to find my own path, but they were giving me the tools, the maps of inquiry to find it on my own. And that's
I love that. I'm sorry. Maps of inquiry. I
yeah,
really like that.
thank you. That so I stole that from our YTT program here at YogaSix. I facilitate hours now, which is amazing. And we talk about maps of inquiry, which is the philosophy behind the physical. Um, and I think it's just giving people the tools to take this journey,
Mhm.
and run with it.
And
And to
and I'm wondering too, I can imagine, I'm very visual, so I can imagine you needed to find a balance in there
Mhm.
because it's not easy to go from something very physical and then just jump right into something very spiritual, and you have to work on that balance in between, at least if you want to visit each side of it again. You still have the ability to jump into the physical part of
Yeah,
your workouts and all. You don't want to walk away from that entirely because it's very much a part of your physical world, you being a human, but yet you don't want to walk away from the yoga either because it's giving you that insight into another part of yourself that you really can't or haven't found over here yet in the
right.
physical place. So that balance, that becomes a journey in itself. And
Yeah,
you probably don't even realize how many times you're crisscrossing and putting the yoga into this space and then taking the physical workouts into this space and then trying to make it make sense, as you're going about your daily routine. So it is, and that's a very important part too of the journey, is learning to find that balance, because obviously we would love to live in this space all day every day, but it's not very practical when you have a family and you need to put food on the table. So but at least you're honoring your journey by giving yourself that precious space there to just be in that moment.
yeah, it is a balance, and especially, being a general manager of a yoga studio and understanding that there's a business aspect to it as well, can sometimes poses a challenge because I put my
Mhm.
soul into the yoga aspect of it, and every once in a while, you get somebody that's unhappy or was charged the wrong amount or whatever, and it's sometimes hard to separate.
Yes, it's a pull down. You're going from one vibration basically to another vibration, and that's a part of the duality here. Of being in the physical, you must be, but yet you still want to be very much a part of the spiritual. And
Yeah,
that balance is extremely challenging. And I don't
yeah,
think people realize that. And sometimes they may feel as if, well, I can't do that because then I can't focus on what I really need to focus on over here and take care of the things that matter. But you matter too. So this does matter. And this is what's giving you the gas, the energy, the breath of it to continue doing what you need to do over here as a human being.
Hmm.
So it's important to have both of them, not walk
Sure.
away from one to have the other, but it's a yank down when you're at this frequency, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like reality is knocking at your door unexpectedly.
Oh,
And
for sure. And that's where the skill and action comes into place, right? Like the lineage of yoga that I follow and have learned from is um, that this is very much like we are living in a humanistic realm. So
yes,
it's not
very
taking
much
away from
so.
that. Yeah, it's okay. You learn of the bad news. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to react? How are you going to carry this and move forward? Um, it's not just a practice on the mat. It's so much more than that. And so, how do you live your yoga? And I think that becomes a challenge too, um, because I go in and out of being in the seat of student, and then as a facilitator now for our 200-hour program, as a teacher, as part of our leadership team at YogaSix, um, I need to constantly check myself to revisit the seat of student, because there's so much to learn, and I've barely, you know, brushed the surface. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's
And you're
continuing.
staying humble through it, and that's important too.
Thank you. Uh,
Yeah, and I wanna acknowledge the part where you said that throughout your journey, someone maybe came to you and was like, "Do you do this?" And you're like, "No, but I could." And it was like you were saying yes to things. And it takes me back to one of the channels I love to follow, which is the yes theory. And they say yes to so many things in life and see where it takes them. And I love that you've done that as well. And I wonder if the physical journey that you had as a kid with the sports and that discipline really sort of helped that journey of like saying yes to things and being and knowing that like you could physically, mentally, spiritually challenge yourself to make that happen.
Thanks. I haven't made that correlation, but I think that that is probably pretty accurate. I feel like I'm like a tried and true Capricorn. So I have this disciplined, kind of gritty nature about me anyway, but I'm also not afraid to make mistakes. So if I try something and it doesn't work out, or I have to change the angle, or there's someone that can help me, right? Like I know that I don't have all the answers. Wouldn't even begin to say that. So I think that, like I said, just being in that seat of student is essential no matter what you're doing. Um, so I learn constantly from, my own fellow teachers that I take classes from. When we're in the 200-hour YTT program, some of the questions they ask, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, yeah. Um, so yeah, I feel so blessed to have the job that I have. I know that a lot of people are out there that maybe aren't happy in their line of work, but don't know what else they do. I feel very fortunate that while I wasn't happy in fashion design, I knew exactly what it was I wanted to do. I didn't expect it to take this turn into yoga, but I still feel like it's very much connected to where I started on this, fitness slash wellness journey.
Mhm.
And it continues to evolve. Now here I am, a general manager, whereas before I was simply teaching, and now I am, kind of brought the analytical side of my brain and the creative side of my brain together.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so I feel really fortunate. And I think I mentioned it to you before. I've built so many friendships. It's allowed me to travel. I lead yoga retreats. So me and one of my best friends, who's also a yoga teacher, she and I lead international yoga retreats together. And I've met so many amazing people through those travels. So it just this gift just continues um, to give.
To
Yeah.
give, yeah, and it's bringing opportunities to your door that you wouldn't necessarily had you stayed where you thought you belonged, but
Right.
allowing yourself to let go and let God and be
Mhm.
guided into the direction. And you're not supposed to know it. You're not supposed to know. You know
Mhm.
that the journey itself is learning and it's exploration and it's discovering on your own and finding your own truth through it because it's your life. You're the one that has to live your
Right.
truth. So you mentioned about meeting this special friend now that
Mhm.
you have. Tell us about that. Tell us about one of your adventures. I know there was one not too long ago.
Yeah. So our most recent trip was in Guatemala. We stayed at Lake Atitlan at Villa Samaya, which was amazing. So my friend Alicia, who I met through yoga, she and I started leading international yoga retreats. I actually, when I moved, so I moved from New York City to Conshohocken in 2017, and I had recently completed my 200-hour program, was on the verge of starting my 300-hour at that point. So just continuing the journey of learning. And I knew that with this move, I was kind of recreating myself and wanted to step out of more of the um, personal training stuff and more into yoga teaching. So Alicia and I met. I had already planned my first yoga retreat in Iceland and did it, and it was amazing. And she
Mm.
approached me after and was like, "So, tell me about these yoga retreats," because she loves to travel. And she's like, "I'd really love to do the next one with you." And at first, I was a little like resistant because I was thinking, "No, this is my baby." Um, I don't know. And we had just kind of become friends. So I know how I like to do things. And I was not sure if I trusted another to care about it as wholeheartedly as me and everything. But I'm so glad that I stayed open to it. Um, she and I planned a retreat in Peru. And then, of course, COVID hit.
Mm,
That was delayed 2 years. Anyway, but we've since been to Peru. We've led a couple of domestic retreats here in the States, one in Utah, one in Montana. We've been to Bali together. We went back to Iceland together. We've been to Sicily. Our most recent one was in Guatemala, and it was just amazing. We had this awesome group of healers that welcomed us into Guatemala. Um, Typically, when we go to a place, there might be a couple of massage therapists or something that are
mm,
on site or come and people can schedule whatever. Um, but here, there were Reiki practitioners, there were massage therapists, there were acupuncturists, there were qigong masters, there were um, tarot card readers, there were Mayan calendar readers. I mean, it was wild. And
mhm,
because there were so many of them, and we had the whole place to ourselves, I was
mhm,
able to schedule several sessions, which as a facilitator, I usually sit back and let everyone else get their services. Um, but we had so much time and the staff that I was able to get some amazing treatments, including my first Reiki session, which was life-changing. Yeah,
mhm.
that sounds maybe a little far-fetched, but I don't know if I'll ever have an experience like that again.
Not far-fetched for people who have had the same
Yeah,
experience.
yeah. Um, it was amazing. I felt the presence of um, my aunt who has passed a couple of years ago. Um, I felt the presence of my grandmother there. The healer um, knew something about me that I had never told anyone. At the end of the session, she mentioned that she had spent a lot of time on my heart, and she asked me about a very specific incident as a child, um, that I hadn't told anyone, and um, I really felt cracked wide open
Mhm,
after that session. So Guatemala, oh, I love. So this was in Central America, and I don't know, Central America and South America are just, I just feel that they're such special places. There's um, just such like beautiful people. The way that there's a harmony between the way that people work with the land, and the animals, and Guatemala definitely uh, gave me that. And I come back from retreats like that feeling humbled, feeling like we have so much to learn
Mhm.
here in the States from a country like that that is ascending. Um, Somebody in Guatemala who was from the States that has since moved to Guatemala. He's lived there now for maybe 17 years,
Mm.
farm. And he talked about Guatemala as being an ascending country and us being a descending country. And I thought that that was pretty spot on. So we have a lot to learn. I mean, they're building and they're growing. They're learning too. Um, but yeah, it felt really good to not have the news front and center every second of my day.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's
Just live life.
yeah.
Hmm.
Anytime I go on a retreat like that, there is just so much to learn from the way other people live. We have so much here that we take for granted. Um,
And
and
for some, it's still not enough. So do you
Mhm.
feel I have a feeling you're going to be going back there at some point.
yeah,
Um, Now, your husband, and you have a daughter,
yeah,
correct?
yep.
Okay. So what are their thoughts with this? Do they travel with mom and wife, or do they wait to hear, how the journey's been?
Layla is just turned 5, May 1st, and she would jump in my suitcase if I'd allow her. Um, and someday I hope to take her with me. Absolutely. When she gets older, I would love to take her with me. My husband has been on one retreat with me. He came to Bali.
Mm.
Um, and I think he was kind of I think surprised at just how much we do on these retreats. Um, I think sometimes prior to that, he was kind of like, "Oh, you get to go on. Oh, you're working.
Vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're working. Okay."
right.
And I listen. I do sometimes feel like that. It's like I forget I'm working because it's such an awesome um,
Hmm.
privilege to be able to go to these other places with a group of people and do what I love, which is teach yoga. Um, but I think he was even surprised at like, and just looking around the room of the other yoga practitioners and them telling him, like how special I am was like, see, they like me. I think what I'm doing is important. So he's only been to Bali with me, but actually, me and my friend Alicia have talked about maybe doing something on a smaller scale here in the States. She lives in Colorado. So we talked about maybe just renting out an Airbnb or something that has a big common space,
Hmm.
inviting some people, keeping it really low budget, doing hikes during the day, yoga in the morning, yoga at night. And then my husband actually loves to cook. So yeah, we thought maybe we'd rope him in to be our
Mm.
private chef. So we'll see. Maybe down the road he'll be more involved, but it's
Yeah.
I go. Um, I met a woman when I was leaving Peru who was on her way in to lead a retreat. And I kind of made the comment, she said something to me like she had a 6-month-old or something. And I was like, oh yeah, that's really hard. I was like, I think at that point Layla was 2. I was like, I have a 2-year-old at home. I can't wait to go home and see her. And she said, well, usually I bring my kids with me. And I was like, how many kids do you have? She said, usually I bring all 4 with me. I was like, you bring them all to the retreat? I just was not me. I'm at capacity just, you know, with the people that are there in front of me. But so yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah. Was
That's an adventure in itself, taking 4 children with you.
I cannot imagine. Like,
I can. I have 4, and they
okay,
were
you
once
can.
little. So and we went on a few vacations. I cannot, yeah, I'd have to think a little bit on that one, but good
I
for
just like
her.
there's I can't. I don't know how I'd hold space for other people. Like I just, yeah, not for me.
Speaking of kind of holding space, as you expanded into the retreats, was there ever a point to where you sort of like panicked and felt like, can I really do this? Like, am I the person to do
All the
this?
time.
Yeah.
I still do it. Imposter syndrome kicks in all the time.
Mm,
Um, and whenever that kicks in, I go back to what I know works for me, and that's journaling. That's being inspired by some of my friends who teach. I'll jump into their classes. It's revisiting some of the books that I know um, inspire me. It's getting on my mat and just moving in my own body and feeling it firsthand. So yeah, that's all that it it rears its ugly head all the time.
Mhm.
Whether it's me teaching a weekly class that I teach every week or doing something on a grand scale, like leading a international yoga retreat. Um, but I think, um, like I said, I know that I don't have all the answers. And so I think leading it from that, I'm there to provide the tools and the maps,
hmm.
right? So I'm not
Yeah.
going to tell them how to think, but I'll pose some questions um, to hopefully, eh, you know, inspire them
Mhm.
on
Yeah,
their.
and I think people relate to that more as well when they feel like a kindred spirit
Mhm.
versus like, a
Yes.
hierarchy.
And me and my friend Alicia, we are that. When we are on these retreats, we are among our people. We're having the conversations. We're sitting next to them at the
Yes.
tables. I've been on some retreats with other teachers um, that it is not that way. And it feels so separate. And like there's this big guru, and then there's the students. And I've never felt that way because I know that I am this white lady from the United States that loves yoga, and I am not the end all be all by any means. Yeah.
Again, something to learn from.
Yeah.
Always a student.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah. If someone at home is thinking of going into yoga or even just taking a yoga class, but they're concerned that maybe they have a disability or maybe they're older in age and they feel like they can't move as easily, what would you kind of say to them?
That's a great question, and a question that I get often, yoga can feel really intimidating for a lot of people. Um, Especially if you've never done it, if you've never really seen it. A lot of people hear that it's good for them or they should try it, or, oh, my doctor says it could be good for my back or whatever.
Mhm.
But it could feel a little uh this isn't the word I want, but like cultish, right? Like, oh, if I'm showing up to a studio, these people must already know what to do and what the answers are, and
Right.
I'm gonna stick out like a sore thumb. And I'm sure that there are places in any industry, right? Whether it's yoga or something related that feel that way. In my experience, I've been really fortunate, both in the place that I work now and in other places that really welcomes and creates an inclusive atmosphere for everybody, that offers a different range of classes, um, from something that's very gentle in nature to something that is more vigorous. So
Mhm.
depending on what you're looking to achieve, you can get it. For somebody that's working through, you know, uh, a disability or something like that, there are classes and one-on-one sessions that can uh, help them based on whatever they're working through. Like I said, yoga is so many different things. It's not just the physical postures, it's breath work, it's meditation, it's creating the feeling that you want in your body. So what might look like standing mountain pose in my body to somebody else might look different, but the feeling can be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say to somebody, don't be scared. Talk to a yoga teacher or talk to a yoga studio that's local, and they can help you out. They can help you find just the right class or just the right teacher.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's good for people to know.
Yeah. Great answer. I love that. So you've achieved so much so far in your life. Is there more that you want to do? Are you happy being in the present? How is current life for you?
Um, am I happy being in the present? I feel mostly content. Being the general manager of a studio does come with pressure that maybe I wouldn't feel if I was teaching, and only teaching. I'm doing both. And so I know that I have people that depend on me, in terms of not just my members, but staff. I have an owner that depends on me. We pay rent. Like there are certain
Mhm.
things that have to happen so that we can pay our teachers and keep everything afloat.
Flowing.
So that is and our studio, our Conshohocken studio is new. We're just past the year mark. So I've worked with our owner now for a while. She's amazing. We have two other studios too. So it's not our first rodeo, but it still comes with this like feeling of okay,
Yeah.
okay, right? Um, and so I think I am I'm excited about the people that I see day in and day out. I love our staff. I love our community so much. We're partnering with other people and other businesses within the community, which has been
Mhm.
such a great feeling because I live in Conshohocken, and so it's great to be out and about and see people. Just this past Saturday, I was with the Conchi Run Club, who we partner with, and then I went out and got coffee, and I saw a bunch of people that I knew from yoga at coffee, and then I was at the pool with my daughter later, and I saw a bunch of people there. So it's just so awesome to like see everything kind of come into fruition. Um, and so I'm excited and I'm happy about the growth that I'm seeing. Um, and I think I don't know what the future holds. I mean, for now, I just want to continue to grow what we started in at YogaSix Conshohocken. I want to continue to grow my retreat business in a way that feels sustainable and not that I'm like depleting myself.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I also would love to step back into some sort of continuing education program myself, whether that's another YTT program or something related but different. I don't know what it is yet,
Mm.
but I think
You'll grow into it. You'll know. You'll
that is
feel it,
next.
and
Yeah,
it'll happen just like with the yoga too.
yeah,
And the good part about when we talked a couple of minutes ago about, we have human responsibility, and
mhm,
then but we also love when we can go in and just be present in our spiritual aspect of ourself, and you kind of have it both there,
mhm.
so you're not needing to go too far away from that place to do what you need to do here and have those human experiences.
For sure.
That's what we're here for. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there is doors will open that you can't even see.
Mm.
You don't even know that they're there yet, and when those doors open, you'll be ready to step through them because you have all this experience now in so many different ways. So you're never done growing, and then eventually you'll grow into a new space, and then you'll kind of outgrow that space, and then you'll grow
Yeah.
into another space. So just go for it, girl. Don't let anything hold you back. I'd march through any of these doors that open up, because you just never know. I mean, look at where you started and
Yeah.
look where you are now, and it really hasn't been that long of a time.
No, it hasn't been. I mean, it's pretty wild. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing journey, really.
Hmm. How does it feel to be where you are now to say, what you experienced as a kid and that different perception of yourself.
Yeah. It feels really good. I feel really lucky to have been introduced to yoga at such a young age. Um, because I know that a lot of people don't um have that experience, not just with yoga, but whatever pulls them out of the nasty uh,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
mindset and just, circulation that happens with, body dysmorphia or eating disorders, whatever the case may be. It's an ugly thing that's really hard to shake. And I feel really, really fortunate that at a young age, when I probably needed it the most, um, I was given this outlet, even if it was just a small introduction that I wasn't, sure that it
Mm-hmm.
was ultimately going to be um, what I did in life. But I feel really, really fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone who is thinking about, maybe they've had some signs to explore yoga a little bit?
Mhm.
What would you say to them stepping into it for the first time with a little bit of fear?
Yeah. Um, being afraid is okay and still try it. Go for it. Um, there are yoga studios out there that are inclusive and helpful um and join the community. There is so much power in breathing together and moving together. I think the more people doing yoga, the better off this whole world would be.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing to fear. Give it a try. Um, we're doing a free yoga class in Conshohocken on the 28th at noon. It's an outdoor class, accessible for all different levels. Um,
That's June 28th.
June 28th. Yeah, Sunday, June 28th at 12 p.m. on the lawn outside of Hotel West in Maine. We do it 2 Sundays a month throughout the summer.
Oh,
So, if finances are something that is also holding someone back, they could look for something like that in their community, whether it's with us or someone else, their local YMCA, community center. There are places out there that want to make sure that yoga is accessible. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
That's really good to know. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll post that information too for
Appreciate that.
people that
Thank
live in
you.
the area, maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe interested in that. And yes, sadly, sometimes funds
Yeah.
can kind of interfere with somebody
Especially right
wanting
now. It's
to
tough.
try it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is. Yeah, things are very unpredictable too. But I think as long as people have that little spark inside of them and they can get out of their way, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter
Oh,
your size, there is
absolutely
something for everyone. And the community is amazing. And it's not just because you're stepping into yoga doesn't mean that that's where you have to stay. I mean,
right.
that again could be a stepping stone. Look at all your stepping stones to get you to where you are. That just may be a single door opening, but at least it's preparing you for what's coming next. But you meet an amazing community of people, and that's how it all starts,
Yeah,
because now you're meeting this one, and they have this ability, or this one has a studio, or this one does workshops. And it just, the flow is so, like, there's a universal flow. Once you're in it, when you're in that energy, nothing stops this flow. And if you
right.
just trust yourself and have faith that you're not going to get lost, you can't screw it up. Just trust yourself to be, you're going to be pleasantly surprised at the places it takes you.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing. Well, this has been a wonderful show, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there, hopefully now, or will take a breath when they hear all we talked about and say, okay, maybe I will go ahead and try that, and I don't have to worry about what I look like. Or, oh, and another thing too is you don't have to dress up and wear makeup either,
Don't.
girls.
You don't.
Just come as
Just
you are.
come as you are.
Or
Uh,
tight leggings,
Yes.
just
Nothing.
comfortable things to
Comfy
move
clothes.
in.
Yes.
Yeah, come as you are to your yoga mat always.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and again, if someone's interested in this, are there some things that they should maybe purchase for themselves too, if there's an interest there?
So it depends on the yoga studio. I know for us, we provide all the props that we suggest during
Hmm.
class in the studio. We have mats available for rent. Most studios do. But typically, if people do prefer to have their own yoga mat. Um, you can get an affordable yoga mat easily, but look for
Hmm.
a quality one that's going to be slip proof, that's a little bit denser so that, you're giving yourself a strong foundation. I liken it to a good pair of running shoes, right? Like when you first start
Yes.
running, maybe just throw on anything, but then
Yes.
once you start to invest a little more time and energy, you understand the value of a good pair of running shoes. It's the same thing with a yoga mat. So
Right.
if you
Right.
want to make sure you're doing it right, invest in a good yoga mat, and then that's really it. Water bottle, dress
Hmm.
comfortably,
Which most
uh,
people have.
come early,
Hmm.
especially if it's your first class. Try to come early so that the studio can set you up properly and introduce you to your instructor.
Hmm.
Hopefully that's what the studio is doing, um,
Hmm.
and and prepare you for, yeah, a good class.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. And it can be fun. Again, you're going to meet people that
Absolutely fun.
you have no idea, where it's going to take you. And these people, most of them are there for the very same reasons that you are.
There are so many reasons that people come to their mat, right? Like people come to their mat out of grief, out of
Hmm.
a change in their own routine, out of wanting to improve their wellness, their sleep, stress levels, wanting to meet people. Maybe they're new.
Hmm.
There's so many reasons why people come. And I see the connections happening all the time when I come into class. I love it when I come into class and the class is about to start. And so I start to introduce myself and make the announcements. And I literally have to like shush everybody because they won't stop talking. I'm
Hmm.
like, look at this room full of friends that we
Right.
did. It's awesome.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you can meet some amazing people there. So it's a win-win. It's
Absolutely.
something very positive for your mind, your body, your soul. You get to meet other people, like-minded people, and who knows, where it goes from there.
100%. Yeah.
Very,
And
very great show, Stephanie. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
yeah, and just one last curiosity as I'm trying to contain Luna back here from climbing all over the place. Um, I'm curious if you have your daughter sometimes, on a mat next to you at home doing some stretches and
Yeah,
things.
we do yoga together sometimes. Um, she she's a character. We have kids yoga classes from time to time in the studio too, so she's come to those. We did a K-pop Demon Hunters glow flow for kids
Hmm.
back in it was in the fall and it was such a hit. It was so stinking cute. Um, but yeah, she comes with me and when she comes to the studio, she feels like she owns the place, right?
Hmm.
Struts right in. Um,
Oh.
so yeah, we do yoga together. I've gone to her daycare and taught yoga. She'll go to kindergarten next year. She gets a little possessive over me when I'm, trying to teach to other children.
Mhm.
But
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, she does it.
I love that though. I love that you've gone and taught at such a young age because that just, as it affected you at 17, like for them to just know that at
Yeah,
such a little age, it has to
great.
be
And
so influential.
I agree. And just it gives me the tools to talk to her. She's having a moment or a
Hmm.
bad day or
Right.
whatever,
Yeah.
to talk to her about like her breath, the way things
Yeah.
like, how does this feel? How does
Hmm.
your body feel when you're in this state? Uh, you know, um, hopefully it's something that she, as she gets older, can continue to use. And yeah, we've our lead teacher Rosie, who is in Conshohocken, she teaches a lot of the kids classes and she's so good. She's so good. I get by like in preschool, I get by, but she's amazing with the kids, so it's really fun to see them.
Well,
I
that's
love
also
that.
good for our viewers to know too, especially
Mhm.
if they're in the area, that there are teachers that will come and, teach the
Oh, for
littles.
sure.
Yeah,
Yes, for
this
sure.
is
So
great.
we go out into communities and do that, or we'll have them at the studio. We actually partnered with Philly Fun Moms, which is a group that just got started here in the area that
Mm,
is looking for mommy and me sort of things to do.
yes, there's a
So
lot of places looking
yeah.
for those.
So we had a class for them. It was just a $10 drop-in on
Yeah.
Friday at noon. We're going to do another one with them in July. Hopefully it'll be a monthly thing.
Wow, that's interesting. The wheels are turning right now. Events, do you plan like local events in the
Oh
area?
yeah.
Okay.
So like the community classes that we're offering at Hotel West in Maine, like I mentioned, those are 2 Sundays a month during the summer. We kicked it off Memorial Day weekend and it'll run through Labor Day. They're completely free. They're community based. So they're
Okay.
meant to be for all different levels of yoga practitioner. Just show up. You can bring your mat or even like a beach blanket or towel works
Mhm,
really well on the grassy surface.
mhm.
We do other things in the community. We do Flow for a Cause classes. Last Thanksgiving, we called it Hot Turkey Trot. We did a 5K run just in the development behind our studio, and then followed by a Y6 hot class, and all proceeds went to our local VFW. So we try to do as much as we can. We partner
Yeah.
with Punchy Run Club, and I'll sometimes jump in for their runs, and then I'll lead the pre-run or the post-run stretch. So yeah, just
Yeah.
it's great.
Giving to the community. Now,
Yeah.
where can I'm sure that there's a website that people can visit and we'll list these upcoming events and maybe future events too, if there's like a calendar that they may be interested in contact information. So where can people find you?
So they can either go to yogasix.com and then go to the Conshohocken location, or probably the best way is to follow us on social media. So YogaSix,
Okay.
spelled out YogaSix _Conshohocken. Um, Either on Facebook or on Instagram would probably be the best way to stay up to date. And if they want more information, they can contact me directly. My email is just conshohockengm, as in general manager, at yogasix spelled out.com. And I'm happy to help them, set up their first class, talk to them about what is just the right class for them, or get them scheduled for one of our free outdoor classes.
Or maybe someone who's interested in having an event, can
Yes,
contact you too,
totally.
and
Yep.
you'll be available to come out and help them. Yeah. All
Absolutely.
right. Well,
Yeah. Thank
great.
you.
Thank you so much, Steph. It's been a wonderful,
Thanks for having me.
um, I don't even want to say interview. I feel like I've known you for a long time. Um, but just the information alone. And I think giving people the okay to go ahead and give it a try, to step outside your
Mhm.
comfort zone a little bit and don't hold back because of what maybe someone said or maybe a past experience, and you're not that same person. So and just give it a try. Maybe it's something that you will start your own transformation through and don't even know it yet.
Yes,
And
exactly.
the support is beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate both of you having me on. So thanks, Stephanie and Laura.
Yeah.
Our
Of
pleasure.
course. Yeah. I loved having you on. Make sure, to keep fighting that imposter syndrome.
I will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we wish you well on your journey, and I'm sure we'll be checking in on how things are going.
I
Yeah,
would
I
love
have a feeling we're going to be hearing from you again in some way. Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Now, do you have a retreat coming up before we go? Do you have something planned?
So the next one is in October 2027. It's in South Africa. It's
Okay.
it's
Ooh.
sold out. So that's why we're trying to it's sold out
What? It's sold out?
in like 48 hours. Um,
Wow.
it's a smaller one. We had to cap this one, I think, at 11 or 12. Most times we can take up to 20, but this one's smaller. And we knew before we even scheduled it, we had to make sure that we had the people that wanted to go,
Right.
and we did. So we didn't even promote it. We just emailed people that we thought might be interested, and it sold out immediately. So we are trying to figure out, like I said, maybe something in between.
Local. Right.
So
Okay.
TBD, but I'll let you know what it
Okay. Okay. And again,
Mhm.
everyone can follow on your website or
Yeah.
Facebook or
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
and you'll keep everything up to date. So yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my personal Instagram is just Steph Zavala. So if you are interested in retreats, you can either email me at the email address I gave, or follow me on Instagram. But in terms of like events and things that I'm doing with YogaSix, they can follow that on social. Yeah.
Great. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thanks for
All
asking.
right. Well, another good episode for the Sleeping Lotus podcast. We want to thank everyone that's listened or watched on YouTube. And I guess we'll come back with another good episode with another great guest. And stay tuned by liking, subscribing, and what else am I missing there, Steph? I feel like I'm missing
Following,
something.
liking, subscribing.
Following, liking, subscribing,
Yeah. That
and
about covers
sharing.
it.
And
Yeah.
sharing.
Share.
Give us a share if you can.
Mhm.
All right, everybody. Till the next one. Thank you again. Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you.